The goal of this video is to give you the skills so that you can find the slope given a graph. Now remember, slope is a fraction. Slope is rise divided by run. It's actually a fraction. In the example you see before you, you see a line and you also see 2 points. I was nice and I gave you 2 points. So we're going to do some examples where I give you some points, and then at the end, I'm going to give you a couple examples where we don't have the points and we might need to figure them out. So slope is a fraction, so we're going to have to calculate how much we go up starting at the first point and then how much we go over all at the same time to get to that second point. So the rise is, count those blocks. How many is it? It looks to me like it's 2. The rise is 2, and we're going to create a fraction, and on the bottom is going to be the run. So we're going this amount. So let's count. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. So the slope is going to be 2 over 5. And by the way, as you know, we use the letter M for slope in our algebra class. So the slope is 2/5 because it was up and to the right. Now I want to encourage you to always go right if you want to be right. And you'll see what I mean here in a second when we get to lines that are going different directions. In this example, I've set it up a little differently. What's different about this? Well, this time it's going down and to the right if we go from this first point to the second point, right? Down and to the right. Now that means the slope is going to be negative. Since this line is going down and to the right, when we write our answer, we really need to state negative, and then there's going to be a fraction. Now remember, slope, I'll write it one more time here. Slope is rise over run. But this time we're not rising, are we? We're going to start on the left, and we're going to go down. How many is that? That looks like 3 to me. So I'm going to put a -3 here on the top of my fraction. So the slope is -3 over, how much do we travel? We went down 3, and now we're going to go over. How many is that? Well, again, let's count it carefully. 1, 2, 3, 4. Over 4 to get to there. So the slope is -3/4. That's a fraction and it can't reduce, so we can go ahead and say that's our answer. Notice it's a fraction and it's negative because this line was downward sloping. So here's our third example. Is this going to be a positive slope or a negative slope? That's the first question I always ask the students. Just step back and see, is this thing a positive slope or a negative? It looks to me like this is going up and to the right, so I think the slope is going to be positive this time. So I've got my fraction bar. So how much are we going up this time? So we're going to start on the left and we're going to go up and to the right, because we always go right if we want to be right. Looks like we're only going up 1 this time. Only going up 1. And then how much are we going to run? We're going to run this amount here. So you count all those blocks. Sure looks like 5 to me. So we have the fraction 1/5. So the slope of this line is up 1 over 5, but we write it as a fraction, 1/5. In this example, boy, that line is really steep, right? Slope is an expression that tells you how steep a line is. Generally, we don't use degrees, in algebra class. We do that in geometry class. In algebra class, we express the angle of the line as slope. So let's set up our fraction. Slope is always a fraction. So how much are we going to rise in this problem? Again, we're going to go left to right. So we start at this point. We're going to go up a whole heck of a lot, isn't it? How many is that? I think that's 6. If you count the blocks, that is up 6. How much do we go over this time? Only 1. Only 1. So it would be 6 over 1. This is an example of a slope that just maybe we might want to simplify. You could just write this as 6. The slope is 6. So if this were a multiple choice question, my guess is your teacher would put 6 there, not 6 over 1. All right, so you're starting to understand this, I bet. So now I'm taking the points away. But I still have the line there, I still have the grid. So what do you think we do first in order to figure out the slope of this line? Let's identify some points where it seems to go directly through the grid. You see how I'm identifying those? Now I'm good to go, just like all the other examples today. So we're going to do our rise and our run. So it looks like if I start here, it's up 2 over 3. And you see if I keep going, up 2 over 3, I get the same number, up 2 over 3. The slope here is 2/3, which is a fraction that can't reduce, so we're just going to report that as our answer, 2/3. All right, here's the last example today, and I would encourage you to pause the video right now and see if you can figure out the slope, and then I'll give you the answer. We need to find 2 points on this line so that we can count the rise and the run. So I think it goes through right here and then also over here. So count the rise and count the run. Now, is this going to be a negative slope or a positive? Hopefully you said negative. The slope is going to be negative because it's down and to the right, down and to the right. So let's count how much we go down. Starting at the left side, we go down how much? 1. And how much do we go over? That looks like 7 to me. 3 plus 4 is 7. So what did I say again? I said down 1 over 7. Notice that is not the same as -7, right? A slope of -7 would be really steep. That would be down 7 over 1. This is down 1 over 7, which is why we say the slope is -1/7. I hope this video cleared up any confusion about finding the slope from a graph. If you liked the video, be sure to like it and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to get easy access to all the instructional videos that I'm posting. All right, until next time.